Yes, indeed. Here we are once more, enjoying life, living the best life, living my dreams out here with you in the first and final podcast with Shivu, your humble and glorious host, your humble hero. Hopefully, uh, I'm just joking. I'm just trying to come across as my most charismatic self. So yes, so what I wanted to talk about is so we've got some interesting developments in terms of the sports coming up. So India, England are starting tests soon. As of the time of recording, it should be starting later today. So India, England, my beloved Carlton Blues. I mean, I don't know if they're going to win the chip this year, but it's always a wonderful thing to be in the race with them. I really feel that it might. I hate to say it, but it might be the Collingwood, uh, the rabid dogs of the Collingwood fan base might be celebrating at the end of the year. But that's okay. That's okay. Even when Man United were winning the English Premier League, I had to live through that, and I made it out of it alive. So, yeah, no, don't worry. Um, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was just addressing um, just addressing the geopolitical landscape in terms of where we lie. So we're here in Australia, and I really feel that we're seeing a seismic shift away from the traditionally Commonwealth countries and coming away into the Asia Pacific region now and really being involved as a player there. I think it's a positive development. I think that we're aligning more with our reality and not trying to just be in ideological lines of oh, we have a history as a Commonwealth country, and so we should only just walk in lockstep with Britain, or we should walk in lockstep with the United States. I feel like that is an old-fashioned and outdated worldview. We need to um, participate and be involved in the region that we live in, and we happen to be in Asia Pacific, which is, in my mind, Asia Pacific is the future of the world. This is the part of the world where things are made. This is a part of the world where people are actually, being their fullest selves in terms of the economies are growing. Millions of people are being lifted up out of poverty every single day in Asia Pacific, and more importantly, we've got the most interesting places. We've got Singapore, we've got Melbourne, we've got Sydney, we've got Tokyo, we've got Shanghai, we've got Auckland, we've got New Delhi, we've got Mumbai, we've got Perth. So we've got wonderful, wonderful places here, and we just need to be proud of being in this region. We need to participate in it. This is a melting pot, and I think without a shadow of the doubt, the leadership of the world is going to be from Asia Pacific in this next generation. As Jeff Bezos said, this is the Indian century. Well, he called it the Indian century, but many people have called it the Asian century in general. And I think that we need to embrace that as Australians and move away from this outdated view of, oh, we just need to be an Anglo nation and we need to have Anglo worldviews. I think that ship sailed metaphorically and literally. Alrighty, and then from there, okay, so what else is topical at hand? So Trump is debating whether to get involved with Iran directly. I'm certain that they are doing some support motions in terms of use of equipment and use of vessels and use of aircraft. But it's a real, gosh, I don't envy Trump at this moment, because it's a real harsh decision to be made. Because on the one hand, you've campaigned and you've said, we cannot get involved in any foreign wars at this time. In America's history right now, they are out of all, I guess, foreign wars and foreign adventures, and they're just, for the first time in many years, I think in decades, they're just enjoying being war free, and they're trying to correct their house in some ways. The problem that America has had is they've kind of limited themselves to I guess the problem that Trump is having is that he's knows that he doesn't want to get involved overseas, but he knows it's necessary in certain emergency aspects and certain, you know, really, really pressing moments. And the defense of Israel is one of those moments, um, because America has, a very special relationship with Israel. They're very inexorably tied together, and I guess if you're choosing, hey, um, am I going to contradict myself here, or am I going to save Israel? I think Trump has to say, hey, I'm saving Israel. And I think that's the decision he will ultimately make. Even though it goes against what the base wants, it goes against what MAGA wants and MAGA voted for, which is, hey, like, let's just chill on these foreign escapades. We don't need it, and we don't really, um, you know, um, require it. America is not at its strongest place in history right now. America is in a real malaise. America is in a decline in some ways. At least societally, they've lost their way. I mean, we're seeing these LA protests. They're just embarrassing. These are people who are actually going out and trashing their own city in a way that they did during the George Floyd protests as well. These were people who were from that city going out and actually trashing their own city and making it more shitty. That's really what they did. And there's a place and there's a time for protesting. Protest is necessary in part of a society. In part of a free and functioning society, there should be a place and time for protesting. But having a grown adult tantrum on a street, that's not a protest. That's you having a mental health episode. You going out and throwing rocks at police officers, that's not protesting. It really isn't. That's you just being a menace. That's you being a stain on society's face. You're not trying to actually be doing anything constructive here. And I just don't like people who hide behind this idea of like, oh, we're protesting. And really, you're not protesting. You don't really have a message. You don't have a message, and you're not really participating in something constructive. You're only there to kind of obstruct society, and to be a bulwark against the progress of society. I really got frustrated with some of the Palestine protesters when they were at it, mostly last year in 2024. I felt that most of these people were ignorant about the Israel and Gaza relationship, but they were there just because they wanted to wear their certain colors and they wanted to say certain slogans. Look, if you want to, if you want to chant and if you want to say slogans and if you want to, why don't you join a choir? Why don't you join a choir? Why don't you join some kind of community group? Don't go out there and be a menace. Don't be a menace to society. And that's my take on it, at least. I feel like there are certain things that definitely need to be protested. We need to protest against the harm of children in America. How many stories are we seeing of teachers abusing their school kids? Like, there are so many sexual relationships between teachers and their students in America. It's sick. It's wrong. It's really flat out wrong. And they should be protesting against that. Nobody's protesting against that. Nobody's protesting about the welfare of children in America. They're protesting about the welfare of a group of people in the Middle East that don't care for them, that aren't really, in Palestine. I would love to see the numbers, but I don't think that they're pro-American in Palestine. So it's very interesting that these people are, especially from certain communities, going out there and they're voicing their full support and passionate support for Palestine, when the people of Palestine don't know who they are, they don't care about them, and most likely they hate them in their guts. So it's a very interesting dichotomy. It's just it's laughable, but these are things that keep us entertained in life, I guess. It's interesting. I think that I don't want to see what happened in the George Floyd protest era. There was rampant looting. There was rampant civil disobedience and a lot of just nasty work happening. And there were people just breaking into stores and just running away with stuff. And there were people just acting a fool. And We just don't need that. We need people building things. We need people doing stuff for the good. We don't need people acting a fool and, you know, bored or lazy people. They need to get out there and pull their heads in, as an Aussie would say, pull your head in, and get out there and do something. And that's really what needs to occur. And that's really that needs to be said on the topic. If you're sitting around, if you've got enough spare time to go out there and wear a mask, or a little balaclava or a ski mask, um, and run around and cause trouble, you've got too much time on your hands, and you need to go out and find something to do with yourself. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Right back with you. So, yes, indeed. What I will say is, yeah, we are seeing a shift in the power of the world away from the Anglosphere into Asia. Like, if you think about any topical event that's happening, it involves Russia, it involves China, it involves some power in the Middle East. Really, the Anglosphere is an afterthought now, and Europe, especially, is being gutted. Europe is, you know, I mean, there's some wonderful sandwiches in Europe. There's some wonderful coffee there. There's a good apple strudel to be had, and a wonderful, wonderful Neapolitan pizza. But Europe is very toothless, and it's very inconsequential now in the scheme of things in the world. This is Asia's time now, and I think we're seeing a great big pivot there, and draws back to our investment philosophy. Use a top-down approach. Go where the money is going. Follow the money, because they are very intellectual and very smart people who are setting the agendas in this world. And you got to follow the money. If someone has full-time analysts working on this thing, and they're saying, "Hey, this is the next big thing," trust their judgment a little bit too. Follow their money, and do your own research, because you will have biases that they may not have. I mean, you might be inclined to be more environmentally aware than the average portfolio manager, and you might think, okay, I want to invest in something that's more closely aligned to my certain values, and that's where ESG investing comes in as well. But I'm just saying, go away and find your little niche in the investing world, but notice that the macro tide is moving away from Anglosphere to Asia Pacific. That's for sure. And we in Australia can play a big part in that, and we will be. It's going to take good people like me and you. It's going to take people who are doing it for the right reasons. It's going to be people who are true, who are honest, who are substantive people. I'm certainly not here trying to get followers on Instagram. I urge you, please don't follow me on Instagram. I have made an account. I made one last week. I don't like Instagram. I think Instagram is full disclosure, I am invested, and I'm an investor of Meta, the holding company of the parent company of Instagram. But I certainly don't support Instagram. I think Instagram is fool's gold. I think Instagram is a foolish endeavor. I think you're gaslighting yourself. I think you're wasting your time. You're certainly not doing what you need to be. You're not maximizing your time or your life force in this world by going out there and scrolling around and looking at girls girls or guys who are just putting out fakery and putting out nonsense. What good does that do for you? What good does that do for them? I mean, they're probably getting a paycheck. They're getting a good paycheck. Maybe they're getting a subsidized post or a paid commission, whatever it is. But there's no reason for you, the heart and soul of society, the average Joe. There's no reason for you to be on that Instagram app doing that. There's no goodness to come from that. And I held out for many, many years. I just opened an Instagram, ironically, after I gave you that diatribe. But I don't use it, and I never will use Instagram. Instagram is just something that's very negative. Don't waste your time on Instagram. That's the last word on that. Don't waste your time on Instagram. Go out and learn something. Learn how to do something. I hear people always complaining, "Oh, these people are taking our jobs." It's not. Firstly, it's not your job. It's not your job. If that was your job, you should go out and apply for it and get it. You need a certain level of talent and skills to work in the technology sector, to work in this sector or that sector. These people who I see on TV and on YouTube saying like, "Oh, they're taking our jobs," you couldn't get that job if you tried. I'm sorry, mate, but if you wanted to become a software developer or engineer in in high tech companies, I don't think you could do that if you tried. If you tried your hardest, it takes some skill to learn to write code, to do debugging of code, to do troubleshooting, to learn certain languages, like like Java or C++. Or these are more traditional and older ones, or like R or Python now that they use a lot of Python, SQL. So it takes some skill. It takes some nous to be able to do that. The guy's screaming like, "Oh, they're taking our jobs." That's not your job, buddy. And if you feel that way, go ahead and apply and see if you can get it. I promise you, you won't get that job. I promise you. So yeah. Some lovely tunes playing here in the background. Hope it's audible to you. And we will certainly wrap it up for this episode as well. Thank you kindly. And I will certainly let you know more about my philosophy and my points of view as we go along. Keep on tuning in, keep on giving me your feedback. It is appreciated, and I am witnessing it all. And I'm not too big to ignore anybody. I'm here to listen and learn, and to keep this thing evolving and keep going, and give you some substance. And it's needed. It's needed. We need to do the needful. So yes, indeed. So I want everyone to go out there, try and maximize their life energy, live their best life, be positive. There's a power in positivity. It's proven. They've done studies, and they've taken water molecules, and this is a fascinating study, and I'll never forget it. But they've taken water molecules and they've spoken positive words to the water, and they've spoken negative words to the water, and they wanted to see, can there be a physical change in the world just by thinking, just by words. And they found that when they spoke negatively, the water kind of got corrupted, it kind of degraded. But when they spoke positively, it flourished, it bloomed, it blossomed. And I'll never forget that. It's a groundbreaking study, but it shows you that the power of positive thinking is real. It's not in your head, it's not imagined, it's a real thing. And you are what you think, you are what you eat. You become who you envision at the end of the day. Whatever you're in your mind, in your internal dialogue, what you say and how you are, that becomes who you really are in the real world anyway. So I'll say to you, go out there, try and do your best in this game. Get off Instagram, please get off of the PlayStation and the Xbox. Make the most of your time. You'll thank me later for it. And go out there and talk to someone, make a friend, make a girlfriend, make a boyfriend. Get a new skill, learn how to dive, learn how to row a boat, learn how to ride a motorcycle. Just do something. Get out of your shell. Live your fullest life. Live your fullest life. Try and do something. Just That's really about life satisfaction. That's quality of life. That's what we're trying to achieve. And I'm going to give you some good tools and guides towards that. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor, but I've counseled friends. I've been there for them. I've guided people. I've changed at least 5 or 6 people's lives who are close to me. And I hope that this podcast, this material that I'm doing here, I hope that we can do something with it and change a few lives and have a community and keep this thing growing for a lifetime. So yes, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you kindly. We'll be back, and keep on having a good one. Thanks. Bye.